Hey you guys, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we're going to be talking about why you overthink. Let's get right into it. You ever notice how your mind gets the loudest when things actually matter? You're about to make a move, send a message, start something new, and suddenly your brain turns into a courtroom. Every thought arguing, every outcome on trial, every worst case scenario presented as evidence. Here's the part most people don't realize. You're not overthinking because something is wrong with you. You're overthinking because your brain is doing exactly what it was designed to do. But that design, it was built for survival, not for peace, not for success, and definitely not for the kind of life your higher self is trying to pull you toward. The brain is a bodyguard, not a visionary. So your brain is less like a life coach and more like an overprotective bodyguard who sees danger in everything. There's a part in your brain called the amygdala. Its job is pretty simple. Detach threat, react fast, and keep you alive. It doesn't care if the threat is a lion chasing you or someone not texting you back. To your brain, uncertainty equals danger. So your prefrontal cortex steps in, and this is the logical part of you, the planner, the analyzer. So when the amygdala sends a signal like something might be wrong, the prefrontal cortex goes, got it. Let me think about it. Let me think through every possible scenario so we can stay safe. And just like that, overthinking is born, and you start to overthink everything. But here's the layer most people miss. Your brain is trying to keep you alive, but it has no awareness of who you're becoming. This is why you get stuck in the loop. Overthinking feels like problem solving, right? When you start to overthink everything, you feel like you're solving things. But here's what's happening under that surface. You feel uncertainty, so your brain then flags it as danger. So then you start thinking, gain control. Gain control of what's going on. And then you feel like a small sense of relief. So your brain thinks that, or your brain learns that thinking is safe. So next time, your brain will think more, and it will think faster and deeper. So now this is reinforced by something called negative bias. Your brain is focused more on what can go wrong rather than what can go right. But on the energetic part, you're also reinforcing the frequency of fear. So the more that you rehearse that worst case scenario, that bad thought that's going on in your head, the more your mind starts to treat them like reality. So now you're not just thinking, you're conditioning your internal state of mind. Your mind is being conditioned to expect problems. Now I'm gonna tell you why it feels so intense. Overthinking isn't just mental, it's chemical. So when your brain senses uncertainty, it releases a chemical called cortisol. And cortisol does three things. It starts to speed up your thoughts. Your thoughts are racing through your mind. It makes negative ideas stick longer. So you are thinking of those negative things for a longer part of your day. And it also keeps your body in alert mode. So you're always on the go, you're always alerted, you're thinking fast, thinking emotionally, and you feel like you have to figure it out. But here's the deeper layer. A dysregulated body makes it harder to access intuition. So the louder your stress gets, the quieter your inner knowing becomes. Because you're not listening to your gut anymore. You're just listening to these thoughts in your head that are just rushing all over your head, in your mind, fear, doubt. It's all just rushing in there. You cannot think properly. And that's the time when people only start relying on logic and disconnect from their inner guidance. I was telling you before, it's the energetic thing too. When you tell yourself, trust your gut, or something was telling me in my heart that I shouldn't have done this, you start to let go of that. You don't use that tool anymore. Here's where it gets deeper in psychology. Your brain doesn't chase your potential. It protects your familiar identity. Even when things trigger overthinking, you're about to break up with someone, or speaking up, becoming more visible, changing your life, joining a new club or getting new classes, starting a business, speaking up, becoming more visible, changing your life, because your brain, it works this way. New equals unknown, and unknown equals unsafe. But here's the truth people don't hear. That is discomfort. It is often the signal of expansion. Now you're feeling two things at once: fear from your nervous system and alignment to your higher awareness. Here's the truth most people don't hear. That discomfort, fear from your nervous system, alignment from your higher self, and overthinking is what it feels like when you're standing between them. Now, I'm going to talk to you a little bit of how to stop overthinking. You don't stop overthinking by trying to think better. That's like trying to put out a fire with more fire. You stop it by changing your relationship with your thoughts and reconnecting with your awareness. First thing what you do is you name what is happening. Instead of, I need to figure this out, shift to, this is my brain trying to protect me. That alone creates a space between you and the thought. Now, you're going to shift from thinking to doing. Overthinking lives in delay. Remember that. Overthinking lives in delay. Action breaks the loop. Even small moves like sending a message, starting imperfectly, making a decision, these actions tell your brain we're safe even when we move. We talked about 1, name what's happening. 2, shift from thinking to doing. And number 3, limit decision time. Give your brain a container, something like this. I am giving myself 10 minutes to decide about this, or 10 minutes to think about this. Then I decide. Without limits, your mind will think forever. Okay, number 4, stop chasing certainty. What is overthinking? Overthinking is an attempt to feel 100% sure, but certainty is an illusion, right? It doesn't exist. Your next move is going to require you to move without guarantees. You're going to have to do what you said you were going to do without being guaranteed that it's going to actually happen. Number 5, learn the difference between fear and intuition. Fear is loud, it's urgent, and it's very repetitive. Intuition, on the other hand, is quiet, it's simple, and it's direct. Have you ever thought when you are afraid of something or you're overthinking, you just can't process the thoughts? They just continue continuously. Now you're rushing all over the place. You're like, I don't know what to do. Should I do this? Should I do that? Oh my gosh, what if so-and-so is there? What if and it just continues. But give yourself those 10 minutes. Intuition is quiet. And then you think, this is what I'm gonna do, and you go and you do it. Fear says, what if everything goes wrong? What if it doesn't? You gotta change the way that you think. But then intuition says this, go, just do it. Do what you said you were going to do. The more you listen, the clearer it gets. If you tell yourself that you need to do something, you do it. If you ignore yourself, you will lose trust for yourself. You have to remember, overthinking isn't your enemy. It's a signal that teaches you your brain is trying to protect you. Your body is holding tension and your awareness is ready to expand. So you don't need to eliminate fear. The truth is, fear doesn't exist. Tell yourself it doesn't exist, and it doesn't. And if you do fear, you know what it means now. You don't need perfect clarity. You don't need to think your way into a better life. What you need to do is you need to move. And everything will slowly fall in place. Even with doubt, even with uncertainty, even with a loud mind, because the life that you want, it's not on the other side of perfect thinking. It is on the other side of trusting yourself and acting anyway. Anyways, thank you guys. If you watched my video this far, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I hope you guys enjoy, and if you really like this video, I will be posting more. In the next video, we will talk about how to stop caring what people think about you.